In this episode of Detroit Performs, an artist uses fire and her breath to blow life into glass. The beauty of theater performed on ice. And radiant illusions. It's all ahead on this edition of Detroit Performs.
Funding for Detroit Performs is provided by Masco Corporation is proud to manufacture innovative and environmentally friendly products for the home. Delta Faucets, Craft-Made in Maryland cabinets, and Behr brand paints have all been designed with you in mind. Masco and its family of companies, serving Michigan communities since 1929. Funding is also provided by the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs and the National Endowment for the Arts, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to Detroit Performs. I'm your host, DJ Oliver, and today I get to experience the craft of glass blowing. That's why I'm here at Glass Academy here in Dearborn. We'll learn more about what this place can do throughout the show. But right now, let's check out another Metro Detroit glass artist, April Wagner, who is the owner and lead artist at Epiphany Studios.
Glass isn't like any other material. It's very responsive, it's very visceral, it's an intimate experience. I always knew I wanted to be an artist from a young age, and then after I graduated, went to New York for a little while and was studying ceramics. I ended up taking a glass class when I was in college there, and it was just like one of those moments where you realize, oh my gosh, this is an epiphany. This is what I want to do. I feel like in my work I try to encapsulate like that moment in time or that thing just on the edge of turning into something else, like the motion of a thing or just like something caught in time. And so I hope that that is what the viewer is taking away from it. Glass is a craft, so there is the technique piece where you have to learn how to manipulate the material, and then a more esoteric piece, which is where you learn to think creatively. What could I do with this material? How can I express myself? What am I thinking about as I'm working with it? What do I want the viewer to see, or how do I want the viewer to feel when they look at the piece? So my work over the years has grown and transformed as I've transformed, and I've tried to maintain a trueness to both of those things. So the studio creates a line of functional pieces, which are very technically based and require a high level of skill set. And then I also create a series of sculptures that I take those skills then and I express myself in a more free-form manner using the glass as a sculptural element. I like to play with the glass and I like to respond to what the glass is doing. And I'm always really interested in what that could turn into. We use a blowpipe, which is about 4 feet long. It's a stainless steel tube, so it has a hole through the center of it, and you'll get the glass on the tip of it, and I will equate it to people like when you're trying to get honey out of a honey jar and you use that stick. It's the same process. You kind of have to twirl it so it stays on there, otherwise gravity's gonna pull it to the floor, and you manipulate it the whole time on that blowpipe. Blow again. The blowpipe is like a baton. You can twirl it around any direction you want. Shapes are done a little bit with centrifugal force and a little bit with gravity, and then I'm manipulating them with hand tools. So I've transferred it from the blowpipe, which it has a hollow center through the middle of it, to the solid rod, which is called the punty rod. So basically I've shaped the piece as much as I can on the blowpipe, and now I'm gonna finish it over here. We're really fortunate we have such a great team right now. I will design all of the pieces in the studio, and then I'll have one of the other artists I work with make them, because glassblowing is such a physical endeavor. I really only have so much capacity, and I want to really focus on the sculptural work with that. Most of my work is site-specific, so it's driven by the environment, the specifics of the environment, what kind of lighting is available, and who the viewer is. Our clear glass comes from North Carolina, and when it comes to us, it's silica, soda ash, limestone, and we'll take that and we'll put it into the 2,400-degree furnace. And it will sit in that furnace for approximately 12 hours while it cooks and turns into glass, and then we turn the furnace down to 2,000 degrees. So now we've got our clear glass ready to go, and depending on if we're going to use color or not, we'll introduce the colors at different points, depending on what kind of piece we're making. Those colors come from manufacturers in Germany and Australia, and they're formulated with different minerals and metallic oxides that are combined with a glass base that matches my clear base. So there's a little bit of chemistry in glass in that each of those chemicals that make those colors has to fit. For example, copper is a really interesting one. Copper can be red, it can be green, or it can be blue, depending on what else it's mixed with the glass. I really have an affinity for the colors that they're called reactionary colors, and they have a gold and silver metallic sheen to them. I think that they encompass all the awesome things about glass. You know, super sparkly, a little bit transparent, a little bit opaque, depending on how the light's looking at it, and just really fits in a lot of environments. It could go in a contemporary home, it could go in a traditional home. Everyone likes it. It's like the universal favorite. Education is a huge part of people understanding value. Twice a year we open our doors for the public to come in and watch us blow glass. We offer a hands-on experience where people can try making their own glass piece, because I've realized over the years that we make it look easy and it's not. So we like to get people in there, let them figure out, oh my gosh, it is really hot and it is hard to work with, but then also for them to have that experience and that memory when they look at that piece. I think people like glass because it seems like it's alive. It's something you want to touch. It sparkles. It really reacts well with light, so it draws us to it. And I think we use glass in so many different ways in our lives. I mean, eyeglasses, glass in our cars, glass in skyscrapers, glass, you know, to look through the Hubble telescope into at Mars. And the technology that goes into glass manufacturing is so crazy exciting. I think as an artist, I feel like that also adds to my passion of what I can do with this material. I'm definitely much more interested in the process than I am in the product. You know, I have pieces that are all over the country that I will probably never actually see in person again, and I'm good with that. Because for me, I feel like the spirit of that piece is embodied inside of me. I did a piece for a hospital a couple of years ago, and the idea that so many people were going to be in that space and probably not there for a good reason, and to be able to give them something else to contemplate, maybe take them to a different place for a while and have respite is really a powerful thing. I love animals, and we have a relationship with the Humane Society where we create work that we then donate a portion of the proceeds back to the Humane Society. I adopted my cat from there, and that makes me feel really good because as an artist, you don't have a lot of extra money, and one of the ways I can give back is to do things like that. I think that we live in such a consumer society. The nicest gift you can give is something that's handmade, and supporting a local artist is keeping money in the economy around you, supporting creativity, you know, adding uniqueness to your area, and I think people appreciate that.
You can learn more about April Wagner as well as all the artists we feature on DetroitPerforms.org. I have a handcrafted glass mug made right here at the Glass Academy. Now, let's hit the ice, where you're going to see skaters combine athleticism with creativity like you have never seen before. Here is Showcase Skating. Cheers!
It's pure excitement from skating.
When I'm on the ice, I forget about everything else going on, and I can just be me and have fun and skate and show everybody what I'm made of.
Makes me feel good because I wouldn't be the person that I am today without it.
Showcase is more for the artistic skater, the skater that likes to perform and become a character.
I think I decided to go into Showcase because it's more of a fun outlet and just more entertaining to watch and to perform, and making people laugh and making people feel the sadness that you're trying to portray in some of them and the happiness and all of those different emotions.
When I was little, I just loved acting, and I also found my love of figure skating. So when I heard about Showcase, I was really excited to try it out.
You get to show your face more, and just like other than smiling, you can sing your words. But if there is no words, you can show your emotions along with that too.
We have two different events in solo skating and Showcase, and that would be light entertainment and dramatic, whereas light entertainment's more fun and lighthearted and can be silly or funny, and whereas dramatic is more emotional, and you know, you can leave the audience in tears if you do your job. Today we are doing our run-throughs of some of the selected programs where the kids that are skating tonight are going to have the chance to qualify for nationals. We have a very good choreographer here. I don't know how she comes up with things, but she's pretty amazing at it, and I think the skaters really can relate to what she comes up with, and it fits with the music and the character.
My friend, my duet partner, we're just crazy. So our coach decided that we could be monkeys, and our routine is Tarzan. We get to be weird and funny. Makeup kind of brings out that you're a monkey, and then they know what you're doing, so you can just kind of be weird and express yourself through that.
I'm doing my duet. We're nerds, and we're trying to impress a lady that we see in the stands, and we're trying to get her attention and make her our squeaky queen. When I look over and see the person that I'm skating with have so much fun, it makes me want to have fun, and like smiles are infectious. So when you see someone else smiling and singing the words, you start to smile and sing the words more, and it just encourages you to be better.
I think sometimes when people hear theatrical skating, they kind of assume that the skaters don't skate, or can't do the jumps or can't do the spins, which is not true. The skaters are doing all of that while smiling and while performing and while bringing the audience into their program. I feel like if they just came and watched it once or twice, then they would be hooked too. They do double jumps, they do axles and spins, and I mean, they're just as good of skaters as anybody else. It's just they're performing for the crowd. And you're gonna see a lot of different, double salves, double loops, double flips, jumps that are consistent and will go with the program.
I like to jump, and spinning is always fun. And then there's some fun footwork things that are different in every single program that you can really make your own in those moments. So I think footwork and those fancy turns kind of thing that you can just make your own in the moment are my favorite to do.
I'm doing a jump called a double sow, and I'm doing a spin called an illusion.
People think it looks super easy, but then you go out and people can't skate backwards and they realize how hard it is. Me and all the other girls included put in so many hours every day and fall down so many times. And you just have to keep getting back up and keep trying again and just keep practicing all of those different things.
A great Showcase skater is someone that has really good skating skills. If they make a mistake, can pull it off anyways and just make it like it was part of the program. Laugh at themselves when they do make a mistake. Entertain, that's huge in Showcase skating. We have 5 of the best duets in the country that won last year. They have different routines this year, and some of them are with different partners, but most of them stay together for a while. That's what makes a good team. So you're gonna see some of those duets, and then we have a lot of solos where we have all the way from the preliminary level, which is the lowest level that you can do at National Showcase, all the way to senior.
I put in a lot of work. I skate the whole year coming up to this competition. It's really my favorite competition.
The fun thing about Showcase is it's unique because everyone just loves to be around each other. They want to watch the other programs. They support each other.
I think Showcase is very entertaining. If you're just looking to have a good time and come out and watch it, then come out and watch it. You will never not be entertained from someone doing a showcase program. You'll go from feeling super happy and laughing to being so emotionally touched by a different program, that there's so many different aspects of it that you can feel by coming out and watching Showcase.
What's up, guys? I am here with Michelle, who is one of the co-owners here at the Glass Academy. So tell us what we're going to do today, Michelle.
Yeah, you're going to have some fun. You ready?
All right, I'm a little bit nervous, but we're going to have some fun. Let's go.
No, it's all good.
All right, all right.
So this is the hot molten glass.
Okay.
There's a whole tub of it in there.
And it is hot. You can feel it, guys.
All right, we're going to set it up here. It's a little too hot to work, so I want you to start turning the pipe.
Now, what am I actually doing here?
You're keeping that glass on center, so let it chill. You're going to move the same speed as the glass. You're coming one with the glass.
Okay, I'm in the zone.
All right, so now slow down. Let's let it get nice and round again. Okay. Now put your mouth on the end of that piece, and you got to turn as you're blowing. Let's see if you can blow a nice big round shape. There we go. Woo! This is called the big bubble blow. Keep going. You've got more hot air than that.
Can't make me laugh. So how'd that turn out?
Perfect. This is our science experiment. This is just to give you a feel of what it's like to be an artist blowing glass. Okay. The creative part is happening over there, and we're going to head to that next.
So tell me about who can come in here and experience this whole craft of glass blowing.
We make our experiences fun for everyone. Okay. So any age, we say 16 to 97, come on in. Okay. We do group events, we do hands-on experience that make it really fun and engaging. Okay. You don't have to know a thing about glass blowing, you just have to come with a good attitude.
And when did the Glass Academy start? How did this place come about?
2004. We're a state-certified glass school teaching the glass arts.
Okay. So now what we're going to do now with this now?
All right, so this goes in this bucket here. Okay. We actually recycle our glass.
Oh!
Yeah, so all this glass we can melt again and use it for other projects.
So tell me a little bit about what kind of artists do you feature here?
So Chris and I, my husband, we built the studio, and we feature art that we make. So we do mugs, we do seasonal shows and events, Christmas, pumpkin show. We have all these different themes that you come and you can watch live glass blowing, get custom orders, or sign up for a class.
Okay, and so what are we going to be doing next?
Okay, so we're working on some mugs today. We're going to walk over there. We're going to watch them do a couple different crazy color patterns on these mugs. Okay. And we might actually let you put your hand in it again.
All right. I'm a little bit excited and nervous too. All right, Michelle, so we're gonna make some handcrafted mugs now?
Yes. Okay. So Chris is behind us. He's gonna walk right over here and he's gonna pick out his colors.
Ooh, man.
Grab that black.
This is for brewery. We do custom mugs for breweries.
Okay.
This is a particular order. These are 22 to 24 ounce. We make them custom.
So what did he dip that in?
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about color. Here comes Fred. He's dipping in a light blue.
Okay.
Chris is dipping in a black. It's like a metallic black, and it's actually the same as our sample that we'll show you in a minute.
Okay.
So after you add the color, this is heating the glass. This thing's called a glory hole. It's nice and hot in there. It keeps the glass molten. They're gonna go back to this 20, 30 times before this piece is over. Okay. And this table here is metal. It allows Chris to roll on the surface and cool and shape the glass, but that inner core is still nice and hot.
And how long does a process like this even take?
The mug's gonna take about 20 minutes. So here's the blue. This is a light blue. And this is for Poison Frog Brewery, which is in Jackson. He's really colorful. Poison Frogs are those.
That is so cool, y'all.
Yeah.
Man. So now he's gonna blow into it, right?
Yeah, so he's blown into it. You can start to see it got like a belly on it.
Yeah.
But the colors will play different. That stripe on there will want to make the glass blow different. So he wants to make sure it's very shaped well. Okay, now watch what they're gonna do. This is an Italian style of glass blowing. Chris is able to sit here at the bench and control what's happening. Fred's watching, but he's also listening to Chris. So Chris can manipulate the glass and Fred's blowing the air in it.
That is so cool.
Right? So teamwork.
Wow, Glass Blowing 101. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate it. This has been so much fun.
Thank
you so much.
I'm so glad you came.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, now let's check out some upcoming events happening in and around the D. At one time or another, everyone's been told, don't play with fire. Lucky for us, one group of Central Florida performers ignores that warning every day.
Usually people haven't seen fire performing at all, so sometimes they're like in shock. They're like, how do they not burn themselves? And you know, so it's exciting to see their faces.
Radiant Illusions kind of started out of the need for all of us to sort of have a name to perform under. We all had aspirations of spinning more professionally. So to do that, you kind of need to be spinning under a professional name and be your own business.
I think what brought this troupe together was just a common passion for the art and for wanting to create something as a group. A lot of us have been spinning individually, but coming together to do group choreography is a really cool and exciting exercise, and getting to do that in front of people is really great.
I was addicted as soon as I started, because I was flowing before, but not the same as I do now. I didn't have like the sense of community. Part of like the beauty of practice and your art is that you get to show other people and bounce ideas off of them. So it's in the sharing. I think that there's this misconception when people meet fire dancers that it's a thing that's geared toward performance, and that's why you're doing it. But most people I know, they spin and they do fire performance for themselves in the same way that people go for a run or paint for themselves. Impressing people's nice, but I like to impress myself and see what I can do and push my limit. You know, I'm like, okay, I've gotten these things down, now let's see what else I can do. Looking at juggling and going, oh, whoa, that's like learning a new language. I want that challenge. That's very different from like the ego side of I want to look cool doing that thing.
Flow can mean a lot of different things to people. It can be this almost transcendental state where you completely lose yourself in this moment and your body and your prop is doing everything perfectly, everything properly timed. It's one of the things where we can kind of let go and play. It's an art that we finally craft and tune and perfect and put our all in. It looks really, really cool.
Anytime you're spinning, you're technically performing. And when you're performing for fun, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're performing for fun. It's more like a practice. You can focus a little more on maybe trying a new move that you haven't done before, haven't felt comfortable with doing before. And then when you're performing for a client, you're just doing everything you already know you can do. You know, you're kind of playing it safe, but you're doing all the pretty moves.
I think about this on like a constant basis. So I may be like at work or walking down the street and I just get this idea in my head. I'm like, okay, next time I pick up that prop, I want to try this. You can break down 3 tricks to their incremental motions and connect them all together in a totally new trick. So you can really just take like 3 tricks you're comfortable with and make 3 or 9 more tricks you've never heard of before. Now that my hands are all warmed up.
The more you do it, the more people push those boundaries, and then the more things you learn that you've never thought of before, or ways to do things that you haven't thought of before, or just more patterns, more intricacies.
There's always that next prop, there's always that next move that you just can't do no matter how hard you try yet. But if you spin for 3 or 4 months and keep trying at it, you'll eventually get it.
For me, every day practicing and getting better is just about seeing if I can.
And that wraps it up for this edition of Detroit Performs. As always, for more arts and culture, head to DetroitPerforms.org, where you'll find featured videos, blogs, and information on upcoming arts events. Also, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. I'd like to thank the Glass Academy for having us out here today. I'm sure they would love for you to stop by, see the artwork, and maybe pick up the craft of glass blowing yourself. Until next Tuesday, get out there and show the world how Detroit performs, y'all. I'm DJ Oliver. Thanks for watching, guys.
Funding for Detroit Performs is provided by Masco Corporation is proud to manufacture innovative and environmentally friendly products for the home. Delta faucets, craft-made in Merillat cabinets, and Behr brand paints have all been designed with you in mind. Masco and its family of companies, serving Michigan communities since 1929. Funding is also provided by the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs and the National Endowment for the Arts, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.